is the new show in town. Yes. Bringing relevant issues to you, at least politically, to try and discuss some of these issues. And we have a guest, Elizabeth. Hi, Elizabeth.
Hi again, Jonah.
Yes. Elizabeth Michael. Wewe ni youth wa nguvu. One thing with the youth is that in this country, there are very talented lot. But what do you do? Remind us again. Who are you? Who is Elizabeth Michael? Including which party you belong to. Neza kukupea party by mistake. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome, Kenya. Welcome, viewers. Welcome. This is Chapa Siasa. Uko kwa Azimio.
Uko kwa Azimio, hello.
That is your chairlady. She's one of my best leaders, by the way. One of my role models.
Wow.
Martha Karua. That's your leader.
Yeah, she's my party leader.
Yes.
Yeah, and
right.
I think I'm also a diehard political fan.
Yes.
Yeah, and I've never regretted being in her party.
What attracts you to Martha Karua?
Well, she's a good role model. Integrity.
Integrity.
Yeah, integrity. I'll start with that.
Yes.
When I was looking for a party to join,
right.
I vied for a seat
in
2017. So when I was looking for where to go, where I belong, I found NAC Kenya Party to be my home.
Okay.
And from there I've gotten guidance, I've grown politically and in so many other ways that have been nurtured by the party.
You know, ukweli wa mambo, Elizabeth Michael is when you're looking for role, women as the role of women as social engineers.
Yeah.
Are you looking at Martha Karua as one of your social engineers for real? Unaweza kupoint out cha ukweli that Martha Karua ni social engineer wa ukweli?
Well, yes, she is a social engineer, and for me to have done enough, I did a lot of research.
Yes.
Before I chose her to be my role model and my social engineer for that purpose.
Okay.
Having been very green in politics back then.
Okay.
But now I can say, when I look back, I think I made the right decision for following her as my social engineer. Yeah.
In your opinion, is Kenya lacking in women like Martha Karua?
In my opinion, yes, because I have faced challenges.
Yes.
In my political career,
right.
As a young person, and having looked upon or up to her, I think we are challenged because we face a lot of discrimination from the other gender. Yes. And from other women, our fellow women.
Right.
For that reason, and we are even judged harshly. We are not able to air our opinions.
Yes.
We are like what do I say? Tunafinyiliwa kama wanawake that this is not the role of a woman, you can't do this. And not so many people are coming out as women and being outspoken about, or let's say, politics
Yes.
Sana sana in general. Yeah.
Okay. Have you participated in the Azimio rallies?
Well,
how many have happened so far? Can you remember any? I remember Kamukunji.
The one at Kibera is the most recent one. Recent one?
Yes, I remember the Jacaranda one.
Yeah, there was the Jacaranda one, and yeah.
Yes.
So both, I would say, when they happened, I was out of town, but probably I participated in, not physically, not physically, in spirit and in support of her.
Hizo rallies, what's the aim? When mtu Azimio, in your opinion, aim ya hii rallies ni nini?
Well,
mbona rallies nyingi? Si tulimaliza siasa?
Tulimaliza siasa, yes, but also the government has to be put on check, and we are not rallying to bring anything. There is nothing like tuna feature when we are doing it.
Yes.
It's just like airing out what we think is not right or not being done by the government the way it's supposed to be done, so that mwananchi wa kaida asiumie. And
but okay, go on.
Yeah. So hatutaki, we want the mwananchi to feel like they are not being oppressed. We don't want to be oppressed. We want everybody to exercise their rights. Yeah, I think yes, that.
Watu wa Kenya Kwanza watakwambia, we are the hustler government.
Yes.
So which mwananchi are you talking about? You know, when they speak, they say they are the hustler government. Are you trying to insinuate that hustlers bado wanaumia?
Oh yes, hustlers wanaumia in so many ways, kwa sababu ule hustler alivote na hakuwa na kazi. Out of 10, let me like rate out of 10.
Yes.
Or out of 100 hustlers.
Yes.
After voting, I can bet.
Yes.
That more than 50% of that, or even 70, 80. Their lives didn't change. It was just the euphoria of we want this, and nothing basically has changed or improved in their lives. Tuko tu mtindo ni ule ule. Kama you are selling fruits, you're still selling fruits. If anything, life has become a bit harder or more harder.
But kuna hustler fund.
Yeah, kuna hustler fund.
Mimi nikitaka kwenda kunyoaje? Nikitaka kufungua kinyozi.
Jonah, there is no way unaniambia kuna hustler fund. Alafu unanipatia mimi nataka pesa ya kufungua for example kinyozi ama kufungua duka ya matunda, fruit parlor.
Yes.
Mimi naomba 50,000, nilipe rent, ninunue niweke stock, lakini unanipatia pesa ya kununua maembe. Kama nataka kufungua pesa ya kufungua kinyozi, wewe unanipatia pesa ya kunyoa. You know? You can't give me a limit like I expect you know, yes, if you want the hustler to grow,
yes,
please give
something
substantial. There is no way I want money for business, and then you rate me with a phone or with an app. I want 50,000 for opening a kinyozi, then a barber shop for that matter. Then you give me 500. 500 ni ya kwenda kunyoa. Unaona, if anything hata kuna barber shops kunyoa si 500 is more than that. So if I ask for 50,000 hustler fund, or even whatever the amount for a fruit parlor, then you give me that small amount. You know, it's not it's not viable. Haitanisaidia. Just the same uliona, there is someone who asked for money. It was too little. Alienda kununulia mtoto chakula nayo. You know.
Exactly. Na ilikuwa afungwe biashara.
Yes. So those dynamics looked at. Pia hustler sijui kama amesaidika ama anaendelea kuumia. So,
but they'll tell you it's in stages, eh? They'll tell you it's also we've started here, we are growing, we'll get to the big people. Hii inasaidia category fulani. Yeah.
Well, let me go back to before voting. Wakatuambia the first 100 days. The first 100 days are over. Tunaendelea kuumia. What category? What like we were told, they said, but I think when they were saying,
Yeah.
just like the way when you go for loans you don't read the terms and conditions, so wakatuambia they'll give us hustler fund. Okay, sijui kama okay sawa, they said tutawapatia hustler fund, but hawakutuambia wataturate vile apps zitakuwa, they'll be giving us kidogo money, you know.
Okay.
Yeah. Because we would have known those terms and conditions. It was just bait, of which so many of us who are in Kenya Kwanza, say as hustlers, when they deem themselves as hustlers, wanted. They thought, oh, now I'll get this loan of this amount, 50,000, maybe I'll prosper. But now they ended up being disappointed because sasa walipata so minimal to the extent that ukiona tu hata hiyo the amount that you are to get, it was too little. And I don't know what criteria they are using to get to know how much they will give you, because there was an expo where one of the prominent people, persons, like wanted to get the hustler fund. Limit yake ilikuwa 1,500. That person has been earning or making more than $1 million for so many years in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 governments before. Yeye anapata 1,500 aje, na yeye amekuwa ki-earn a lot of people. Huyu mwenye hajakuwa ki-earn ni siku gani atafikia hiyo 1,500, ama ile pesa ya kufungua hiyo kinyozi or hiyo fruit parlor before ndio apate hiyo loan.
Hey.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, it's a concern. It's a concern to me, because now I think,
yes,
I don't know, it was bait which so many people fell for the bait. There was a smoke, what do I call it? Smoke screen. There was a smoke screen where we are being told go this way, but the person who's saying go this way, the smoke screen in a feature, then the person goes the other way, and then we fell for the bait.
Now, there is this cost of living issue.
Yes.
Maisha ni ngumu ama ni, you know, we are trying to look at what is happening sahizi. What do you have to say? We pia unalia ama? Yes.
I don't know, I started kutumia hiyo jina hustler, but kila mtu analia. Let me speak for myself, hata mimi nalia.
Yes.
The cost of living has gone up, way up.
Okay.
Like
wewe unanunua mkate?
Nanunua mkate, nanunua maziwa. Right now inakuwa ngumu kwa sisi youth hata ku afford maziwa packet na mkate asubuhi, because it's upwards of 120. Mkate tu ya kawaida is going for 60 shillings. Kwa duka maziwa pia packet ni 60 shillings. So 120. Kenyans, we survive under $1 a day. Dollar yenyewe ni 120 or 1 something there, and we survive under that dollar. So a day, in 24 hours, you have to take breakfast, you have to take lunch, you have to take supper. How do we survive? Do you buy the milk and bread and eat it for 2 or 3 days for you to be able to also make that dollar and be able to save, because you have to pay rent,
yes,
you have to use transport, if you know, and you have to also like help where you need to help, maybe if you are maybe a firstborn like me. Now people looking at you and they like, sina hii, how do you know, like support them under $1 a day?
Okay.
So it's
so unaweza jua ni nini ina cause, we si serikali, lakini ukiona ni nini inasababisha this cost of living to be that high?
Well, most people, people are using, personally, I think
ama ni mastori na corruption, taxation.
Watu wanasema sana wanasema ni vita ilileta hii kitu. The international war for Ukraine and Russia.
Yes.
But yes, it might have affected because of fuel. But again, I'm not the government, but I think we are using that to hide. We are hiding behind it.
Okay.
So kila kitu tu ikikuwa bei kali nini things that can be resolved, and they like subsidize the cost of living.
Mm.
It's not being like looked at, but things are not being done the right way. That is one of it. And also corruption. Corruption is very high.
Okay.
Very high.
Mm-hmm.
Kenyans, we are being taxed. The poor is being taxed a lot, while the rich is not. It's it's like the rich are not being taxed.
So you're talking of tax justice,
Yeah.
Okay.
Like the poor pays a lot. Lakini wale the who's, those who earn good money, they are not taxed enough.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's really affecting us, not in a good way.
Okay.
And now the cost of living is going high also because of such things. Because the tax, okay, even if we are being taxed, let's see how the tax is working for us. Well, why would I be taxed and barabara iko na potholes every corner?
Mm-hmm.
Why would I be taxed na si get the services that I'm supposed to get?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where does the money go? It ends up in people's pockets, and whoever is supposed to be accused of it is not accused. The person goes free.
Okay.
Like the law is not taking it's whatever. Yeah, it's course. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, I already can. I'm not supposed to say who you voted for, but obviously, NAK Kenya, your party is in Azimio, so
yeah,
I may guess, you know, you when you're Azimio,
where I cast my vote.
Where do you Chebukati has resigned now?
Retired.
Oh, retired.
Yeah.
Come on, not resigned.
Retired.
Sorry for that. Retired.
Yes.
How do you rate the gentleman? How did he perform in your opinion?
Well, hey, Chebukati, before this election,
Yes.
I would have given him something. But now, after this election, this is, let me say, from my own observation,
Yes.
without prejudice.
Yes.
I think,
Right. Yes.
Hey,
Come on, mret. This is chapa siasa. Hapa tunachapa siasa tu.
acha sijui nipatie ngapi. 3. It's a 3 on a scale of what?
Okay.
On a scale of 3, on a scale of 1 to 10.
So in your opinion, he underperformed.
Well,
Why do you think he underperformed?
let down in mwisho, the last minute.
Yeah. So why do you think ali underperform? In your opinion, alikosea wapi? The guy did his job.
Well, I saw a lot of discrepancies when all this was happening. For example, where the National Tallying Center was at Boma, I don't know why nobody that is not allowed. I don't want to mention names, but there are 2 people who went to see him and they got in. I wonder why they got in. That was like, unaona vile kunaandikangwa staff, staff only.
Yes.
There are people who are not supposed to go inside.
Yes.
There are 2 people who went, walienda kufanya nini? And why were they permitted to go and see him at the National Tallying Center? So that is one thing. I would also say he's as the IEBC chair. This is he's the most in the history of Kenya. He's the one who has been found with a lot of not mistakes, but so many things have happened under his
watch.
His watch, yes. Like,
right.
I've not seen randomly a returning officer just get murdered. You know?
Oh my.
Yes. There was a case of the Embakasi person who was found sijui wapi.
Yes.
That raises questions.
Yeah, are you talking of Chris Musanda also? Yeah, that was during Chebukati's time.
Yes. That is him. Then there was imagine a returning officer. You know, these are jobs that youths apply for. Then you apply only to to die or be killed. You know,
Okay.
it calls for, I don't know. You see, under his watch, nothing was done. I've not heard anything on the news about the case or what has been done. Has the people been found? Have the murderers? You know, nothing. Like, yes, it was fireworks when it happened, but then ikazima too. You know, then about the issue at Bomas also, I don't know what happened. These people came to see him. What were they discussing? That other people, or it would have been discussed elsewhere, not at the National Serving Center, you know.
But don't you think he was under so much pressure? At some point, people were celebrating and he was getting scared. You know, people were like, hey, and
well,
he was feeling like they want to jump at him.
Well, Jonah, before you become an IBC chair, you are vetted.
Okay.
Cindy?
Yes.
We saw someone else, another IBC. It wasn't IBC. There was a former chair who was under so much pressure. So if he knew he would panic, he would be under so much.
Are you talking of Kina Kibuitu?
Yes, actually, just because I don't want to mention names.
Oh, okay.
But yes, he was under so much pressure. Now come him. There was the Musando case before this election, the other one. Then this one, there was these things that have happened. Yes, he knew he was going to be under pressure. If he knew he was not going to deliver, and he went for vetting, because I assume these people, I don't know how he was put there. Let me just not assume things. But now, why, if he was under so much pressure, why did he choose to subvert us Kenyans into all that? You know, he would just have, I don't know, like done the right thing that is supposed to be done, but not to succumb to pressure. Yeah, he shouldn't have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So what you're trying to say is that he actually underperformed, in your opinion.
Yes.
And you tend to agree with the Cherara 4.
He could have done better. There is no way. Jonah, Waswahili wanasema lisemwalo lipo. Panapo moshi pana moto. These 4 would not have come out to say things out of the blues, things they have not seen, you know. If there are errors, instead of him coming to announce, he should have sat down with his 7 commissioners.
Right.
Yes, they sit down, they see where the mistake is, they rectify, and after rectifying, they announce what is right and what would not subject Kenyans to these things that came up or came after that. You know, yeah. So he should have done due diligence.
One of the things your party leader, together with the leader of Azimio, Raila, is pushing for, is that the ruling government should not be, take monopoly of whoever takes charge of IBC moving forward. What do you have to say about that? Is it one of the reasons why the rallies are on? Is it just IBC?
I think we are right to say that the current government should not interfere or take charge of the of IEBC. Number one, IEBC is an independent from even its name.
Right.
Yeah. So why should the government, if everything that happens at the IEBC is truth and transparent, why does the government have anything to do with it? You know?
Yeah.
Like when you sit for an exam and it is marked, and you got a wrong, it is a wrong. If you got a right, it is a right. No matter which teacher marks your exam.
Right.
So why does the current government feel like it should take charge if whoever is is marking the exam per se, whoever will be counting the votes as IEBC
Right.
will be our teacher or the examiner. Why do they feel like when the results will come, or why do they want to take charge?
But is it
because they want to manipulate the results?
But
they should tell us why they want to take charge, which Elizabeth, I think is wrong.
Could it just be an assumption? Have they shown any signs that they want to take over this thing? Or is it just an assumption? You know, right now as there's mere rallies are going on, there's that talk that the government wants to take over the selection of IBC. But could it just be an assumption? What clear signs have they really shown that they want to do that?
Well, Jonah, basing on the fact that we just had an election recently,
right?
That is under 6 months ago, thereabout,
right?
And our wounds have not even healed, and then the same government, on its first term, wants to take charge and be the one selecting or taking charge on who will be counting or seeing over the election, overseeing the next election.
2027. 5 years away.
Yeah. I don't think it's right.
Isn't it too early to panic?
Actually, we are not panicking, but we are raising what do I say?
Eyebrows.
We have raised eyebrows, yes. And why is it that they want to protect? Like, even me, I'm suspicious. Why? Let them do it. Do that, or let them not do that. Let these people be vetted independently, where the government has got nothing to do with it, because the body is independent, and whoever is vetting should not also be chosen by the government. Because, of course, Jonah, if I bring you somewhere where there is voting, and I'm the one who invited you, you are bound to favor me no matter what.
Okay.
Yeah, like,
okay.
That's where now we come in and be a bit skeptical about why the government wants to take charge, and why now also. Yeah. We are suspicious because of things we've seen before.
I'm hearing a lot of that in your rallies, in the Azimio rallies. I'm hearing a lot of that. I'm hearing a lot of government wants to take over IBC. Yeah, I'm hearing a lot of that. But the question still would be, isn't it too early? But anyway, let me spare you that now that you've answered that side. I want you to say something about what you're seeing around in the education. You're a youth. Yeah. What do you have to say about what is coming up, the CBC issues, and if you can also, you can touch on the, what's your opinion about this transitioning?
Jonah, CBC...
In a minute, because we are about to go for a break, right?
Okay.
Yes.
CBC, I'm not 100% in favor of it, with reasons that before, our 844 system equalized all of us.
Right.
But now, the material being used in Nairobi to teach a kid in grade 2 is not the same for a kid in Turkana.
Okay, hold it there. We are going for a break. Wow. I want us to come back and even talk about the National Health Insurance Fund versus the National Social Health Insurance Fund. You've heard of that?
Yeah.
I want you to tell me something about, you've mentioned about corruption. Is it now becoming political? Have you seen what is happening with Fred Matiang'i?
Yeah, I read about it.
Yes. So let's come back and talk about some of these issues. Are we on the right track politically? Viewers, this is Chapa Siasa. See you after the break. don't have money now, it's tricky. You can't marry anybody. Do you share the same view?
Well, I don't, and I do.
Yes.
For now, it's very hard as a woman. Like when you asked, would I want a man with money?
Yes. Yes.
Let me say.
And I know you are a youth. That's why I'm talking like that.
Yeah,
yes.
I'm a hardworking
yes.
woman.
Okay.
So apart from wanting, let me not use the word money, but ladies, I think we want security. And in security, we will need a man who can protect us in all angles.
Okay.
Financially, emotionally, our kids to go to school, always,
Right.
a woman not being the provider. I think that is what is pushing young women to go and do other things that are not supposed to be done. For that matter, looking for money. But at the end of the day, it boils down to security, and I mean, say, financial security.
Yeah, so when these politics manenos mess up monies amongst the youth, it's even messing the social fabric, the family.
Yes.
That's how serious it gets.
Yes. It's true.
Yes.
Actually, when you look at it, the social fabric is torn from, I don't know, the most, from the oldest to the youngest.
Right.
In terms of when it comes now, because you asked about a man.
Yes.
When it comes to relationships, the social fabric is torn.
Yes.
When it comes to children, because the parents, as parents looking for money, we forget that we have children at home.
Right.
So in the name of looking for money, we forget the children. And the children now, by the way, it's not like when we were younger. Like we would move on the side for an older person to pass. Right now, left, right, center, the kids don't respect the young one. Mtoto anakujibu mpaka unashindwa, okay, huyu ametoka wapi,
Right.
So there is that social fabric. Our norms are eroding. We don't have whatever in the society, and I don't know how we are going to stop that or improve on what is happening. But I think we are heading south.
The leader of Azimio, mrengo wako mrengo ulioegemea Azimio, he came up with some policies, and I remember him deliberately. One of his policies was focusing on single mothers. You remember that?
Yes.
Can politics address family, really? Talking as a psychosocialist, can politics really, improve family? Because it was very clear in his agenda to focus on single mothers. I remember that. You remember that?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, Jonah, politics affects so much than we understand, than we know.
Okay.
If we had good leaders who had good morals,
Yes.
per se, so much would be heading the right way. You've said the Azimio leader
Yes.
was addressing the issue of single mothers.
Right.
When I analyze the issue of single mothers psychosocially, I would say this. Most of them don't choose to be single mothers, apart from those ones who have probably maybe lost their husbands.
Okay.
Now let's go back to these ones who were pregnant. I don't know the right word to use, but they're single mothers, but not by choice. And circumstances have forced them to be single mothers. Probably maybe they were in relationships that are abusive.
Right.
Maybe the guys didn't want to, the deadbeats, they don't want to take responsibility.
Right.
Now, there's this thing of, we used to do paralegal activities when I used to work back then in the informal settlement in an NGO.
Yes, and that is like medical angle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you find that someone is working, impregnated someone's daughter, but they don't want to take responsibility of the child, but they are working. So there's this thing of, we would follow up and make sure that the guy that is working provides for this child, But now most of them don't want to. If politics would play their part, nobody's child would be suffering. Okay. What do I mean by that? This person who is working and refuses to, vehemently, I'm not going to provide for that child, they will be made to provide. And that cuts across from the poorest to the highest earning person.
Okay.
Wengine too, they just evade because they can work around the law and get away with it. But yes, if the politics can play positively, if it wants to stop these things from happening, where Kenyans think, sheria yetu hakuna mali inatupeleka, wata investigate paka lini, they can buy their way out.
Okay.
Yeah. So
now, mothers and children are affected very much by health issues, from giving birth in safe hospitals, giving, you heard of the mortality rates of the children and all that. Do you understand the difference really between NHIF versus the National Social Health Insurance Fund? There is this suggestion by the government to change NHIF to be NSHIF. Is there anything there, or is it too little too late?
Well, I wouldn't say it's a little too late, but I also have my own questions to them. They're doing a rebrand. When they add the word or the name social, it means it's more of a friendly term, according to me as a social psychologist, or a psychologist or a sociologist. If they're using that is rebranding first of all. They're rebranding it to become a social whatever thing. Now, my issue is this. We have NHIF. Personally, as a youth, I've never been employed by the government. So it's just the other day that I went for this NHIF thing. Right now, they're not giving the card actually. You just use your ID and those things, you just get registered and you pay.
Right.
And then you get the NHIF. I don't want to put the word card there because now they no longer cards are being given out.
Okay.
So it has gone cardless. Now, my question is this. If they have not been able to reach every Kenyan, does now rebranding mean they will reach everybody? And how are they going to do it? Because if they would have improved this NHIF, what is going to change? I don't understand, because still, personally, I go to the public hospitals. Having gone to school in a public medical institution, government medical institution, and I've seen and I rate our hospitals, the government institutions, very well, and considering they have good facilities. But now I have an issue where yes, you're paid for NHIF, but you don't get what you deserve. There's a right and a wrong, whereby naendanga, I go to the hospital but sipati dawa, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, naenda naambiwa, yes, you are sick, this is the diagnosis, and blah blah blah. And then now when it comes to the prescription, going to the pharmacy, you'll get paracetamol, but what you're supposed to get and what is expensive is what you don't get in the hospital.
So you've never been treated using the NHIF cover?
No, personally no. I just got mine recently.
Right.
Yeah, like it's not even a month old, but I normally go to the hospital, I pay cash and everything, whether it's public, whether it's what is it called, whether it's private.
Okay.
But whichever is near me, depending on where I am, but mostly I use public.
Okay.
But I've not used the card before.
Okay, so in your opinion, this is just a rebrand? Okay.
Yeah, I wonder why they're rebranding instead of rebranding uses money. Kenyans are hungry. Why don't they channel that money somewhere else to help the hungry Kenyan, and instead of rebranding, because we need to see service on ground. Like if I'm coming to hospital, why are they rebranding? Will not heal me. Hiyo pesa ningepata hapo Amoxil hospital.
They're saying that they want to have it reach everybody.
Then
the bottom-up approach. They're saying this is to reach the mwananchi down there.
Jonah, for me, in my perspective, I think rebranding, that was just a way of getting money and putting money into people's pockets. Because see, rebranding will give people money. See, people will get tenders to work. People will do. It's just looking for a way to pay people. Why don't they improve? Hiyo pesa ingetumiwa kuimprove your NHIF to reach the people. They do public whatever to reach whoever they want to reach from the bottom. What is the difference? It's what does the social nini, what is it going to do? I don't see what it's going to do. They could have just made NHIF reach people.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've spoken about channeling the money to hunger.
Yeah.
Now, when I look at the issues of agriculture, the youth, do you think they are, under-involved in agriculture? And right now, there's the issue of drought going on, and the government talking of provision of fertilizer. Are you seeing gaps here? What kind of gaps are you seeing? But first of all, do you blame your, group? Are they really participating in agriculture as such?
The youth.
Yes.
Well, I would say I blame.
And then, of course, we have the issue of coffee, we have the issue of tea, we have the issue of maize. So we have all these issues that feed our country right now. Yeah, there's the issue of the drought that is ongoing. Right now, we are being threatened by hunger. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
John, I think the government should address the drought issue, and they should come up with measures that they should come out with affirmative actions to curb drought and to also meet the SDGs, because you have an SDG addressing zero hunger for zero hunger. Okay.
Right.
So the government should find incentives or ways to address that, and it is long overdue, because there are ways that can be done. We've seen countries that are deserts,
right,
but they have food. Why are we suffering in Kenya and we are blessed with rivers, lakes? We can dig boreholes. Like, we are blessed. We have water from the underground, and we have rivers flowing. Hata kama saizi there is this drought. Something can be done only if we channel the resources that are supposed to be doing that to the right channels, but not to the wrong channels. One. Then you've asked about the youth. I would say yes, I blame the youth, and I also don't blame the youth. Me being one of them.
Okay.
Like,
yes.
Jonah, I come from a coffee planting county.
Right. Which county is this?
That is Nyeri County. We do coffee and we do We do coffee and we do tea.
Okay.
So I've actually done the business of coffee, having hired a coffee plantation.
Okay.
And my grandmother, paternal, she used to do. She's now the late, but she used to do coffee, and
Okay.
still there is coffee at my paternal, whatever parents.
Okay.
Yeah. So where I blame the youth is we don't have money per se or resources. Like,
Right.
if I want a shamba, not everybody is blessed to be able to afford to buy a shamba or a plot.
Mm.
Yeah, and if you can't afford that, so it boils down like you can't be able to do agriculture. One.
Mm.
Two, another thing is some of us don't want to do these dirty jobs.
Okay.
You know, you go to school, you went to through the 844 system, you want to be just in the office, and that is, I came to learn the hard way that that is not the way it works.
Mm.
You have to get your hands dirty, and not in a bad way. Like, kama ni kulima, you have to go to the shamba, you have to lima for you to get money, you have to do these odd jobs, kuma mkokoteni, fanya hustle. And I'm happy nowadays I can see any gender in any type of job.
Okay.
So at least youth are improving when wameanza kufikiria. But sasa when it comes to farming and agriculture, people don't want to do it. And then also we have the issue that we don't have land, we don't have jobs. The banks cannot give us loans to do what we want to do. Only the few who have like someone can go, mi najua Jonah tani guarantee nipewe loan, niende nikomboe shamba, and I start like there's people like are hiring shambas to do plantation, greenhousing, and all those things.
No.
But some don't have that privilege. Some lack the privilege of how to start, but they want to start. Some don't have and they don't want to do. So that's where the challenge comes in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you've just mentioned you are doing the coffee. You come from a coffee growing county.
Yes.
Have you seen any free fertilizer there?
Honestly, no.
Okay, and then Nyeri County, amazingly, is one of the counties that has been affected by hunger. I've heard one of the leaders from there, in fact, the deputy president, saying that this time they're not just focusing on ASAL areas.
Yeah.
They're also focusing on areas that are not necessarily arid or semi-arid.
Yeah.
And I was surprised to find that Nyeri was one of the counties that was being focused on.
Yes.
Yeah. Are you seeing a lot of protocol? By the time this food reaches people, will they still be alive?
Well,
Is there so much protocol in government, in food distribution, in relief food distribution?
well, it's I would say this from where I sit and what I've seen. I don't know if I should call it protocol or
Bureaucracy?
yeah. I think to some point the protocol should be followed to ensure that the relief food reaches everybody. And when now the issue is when it gets there are fights about who is supposed to distribute this food. And that is where controversy is coming in. Like I've seen there is a fight between, currently we have ward village administrators and we have the MCA who is supposed to distribute this food.
Yeah.
The village administrators know the people who are undergoing hunger. The MCAs believe or know they are the ones who are supposed to do the
And by the village administrator, you mean the chiefs?
No. Right now, if you look at the current structure,
Right.
they have added the village administrators
Okay.
who are now working with the chief. I haven't quite known who is above who, but they came in as village administrators, so they head a certain village, but I think they work in conjunction with the chief.
Okay.
So there is that thing of who gets what and where the food also goes, because you'll find now even the poor person,
Mm-hmm.
the food doesn't reach that person. Maybe
Okay.
somebody anaenda anachukua hiyo chakula anapeleka kwake.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's
That
happening.
happens.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
happening. So such that when the rice comes, the cooking oil, whoever is supposed to get doesn't get, but
Okay.
someone who has say or whatever can access someone who knows somebody, they get.
Isn't
So
that very sad?
it is very sad.
Mm.
And so I believe there should be a way of a straightforward, a clear way of doing it,
Mm-hmm.
so that a person who is affected, you know, there is hunger, like for example, not in Nyeri, not being an asal,
Mm-hmm.
but we find that people are being affected because of poverty, you know,
Okay.
even the money for planting, so there is hunger because
Yeah. And then there's
so
the issue.
for food to reach
Mm.
to that person, it becomes tricky, maybe because they assume this person has, or somebody else picked what they're not supposed to pick, just because they don't want to buy and they can't buy.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Oh my. Straightforward question to you.
Sorry?
And I don't want to close it. I want it to be free for you.
Mm-hmm.
Point blank.
Mhm.
Will the price of unga go down? Was it just a trick? What's your opinion?
Now,
We were told
Mhm.
the price of unga will go down as soon as the Bible touches there. What's your opinion?
well, Jonah, if the price of unga goes down, not every farmer has gotten the free fertilizer, the subsidized fertilizer.
Mm.
So if you tell me to plant maize and it costs me like 1,000 shillings, all my expenses cost 1,000 shillings. That is just but an example. And then you tell me to sell my maize, to subsidize my maize to 500. The same government is killing the farmer. The
Okay.
same government giving out subsidized fertilizer is the same government bringing in maize from outside.
Now this time round they said no subsidies. You remember that? They
Yes.
said your subsidies ilikuwa ni ukora. So this time it is fertilizer at a cheaper rate.
Where is the fertilizer coming from, John? And then it's coming, the farmer, like right now there is no rain. Even if you give me subsidized fertilizer, what am I going to use it with or for? You know, the government, okay, yes, it's bringing in good ideas, but the puzzle is how to implement. You know,
Mm.
now you tell me you are going to give me, is it subsidized fertilizer? At whose expense? Because I'm asking that because when you get something subsidized, someone is paying for the other, you know, like when you get a scholarship of 50%, someone is paying your 50%. So this subsidized fertilizer, who is paying these other 50%? Who is gaining? Are they coming back for us to bite us in the back by raising the taxes? Or what is happening? How are we getting this? I'm not refusing to get subsidized fertilizer, but can there be a clear whatever showing us what is happening? Also, these maize that they're going to, the unga, you asked if the unga is going, how is it going to go down? This farmer who has like produced maize and has maize and is the one selling to the miller so that the miller does this. Ile mahindi yake yenye alipanda at a certain cost. Ikishashukishwa, then the price goes down. Who is the farmer at the end of the day will also lose. So you are giving the subsidized, and again you are coming back to say, you know, because the farmer has to sell the maize to the cereals. The cereal has to sell to the miller, the maize to the miller has to subsidize. You know, it comes back as a chain, and someone is suffering somewhere, and one of the most affected person is the farmer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you: are you for GMO?
Well, let me start by asking. Let me respond this way. If it's the genetically modified maize, is it for planting or for consumption? Because GMO, we might not be understanding it, and some of us understand it. Well, I thought in my understanding, when they do GMO, it's just to modify so that if we get maize that is affected by pests, it's no longer affected. When it comes to genetically modified food, that would affect us because I've not done research about it, that it can cause cancer. But now, if it is whatever that will harm us, in that case by causing diseases, then I'm not for it.
Yeah, then is it then an issue of proper explanation to the public, because the president himself says he has eaten it and he has not turned into a woman or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, so is it an issue of proper education of the masses? And
Well,
we are winding up.
Yeah, I would say yes and no.
Yes.
I would say yes and no. The mass has not been educated about GMO, but the mass has done its own research by where now that we get information about genetically modified foods that affect us, because mostly it's done through like tunasemanga nini, zimedungwa sindano, zimewekwa dawa mingi, zimewekwa fertilizers. You know, it's like it's poisoned with other things, you know. So yeah, that's,
okay.
Yeah.
Fine, our time is gone. Can you believe it, Elizabeth? Hold it there. I'll still bring you back to the studio. We'll call you here and talk some more about some of these issues. But thanks a lot for being with us today. Viewers, we have come to the end of the Chapa Siasa for today. Do you have some final words, Elizabeth, as we wind up in a minute? Do you have something to say, very briefly?
Very briefly, I think I want to say also thank you for having me here.
Right.
And my parting shot is, Jonah, where there is because tunachapa siasa, where there is a winner, there is bound to be a loser, and a loser is supposed to will always complain. So let's have a peaceful Kenya, and as we chapa siasa, let's steer forward to bringing out a greater Kenya.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well said. Viewers, see you next week on Chapa Siasa. My name is Jonah Simba. Bye.